time wherein we can say, yes, we are secure now. Therefore, yet another program, we are here with you all, really discuss the topic, think of the security threats that we often have and how to handle these threats that come our way. तो आज जो हम साइबर जागरूकता दिवस मनाने जा रहे हैं, इसमें आज का हमारा जो टाइटल है हमारे प्रोग्राम का, ये है बढ़ते हुए साइबर के परिदृश्य में और इसके निवारक उपाय. The topic is the increasing cyber threat landscape and preventive measures. I have with me here today Professor P.V. Suresh, Director, School of Computer and Sciences, Dr. M. Murali Rao, Head and Director, Computer Division, and then Major Dr. Karan Kapoor, Chief Security Officer, Indira Gandhi National University, और मैं जयदीप शर्मा, स्कूल ऑफ सोशल साइंसेज और विजिलेंस डिवीजन. तो आज के जो ये टॉपिक है जिसके बारे में हम बात करने जा रहे हैं, ये हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, हमारे टीचिंग स्टाफ के लिए, हमारी फैकल्टी के लिए, हमारे एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव स्टाफ के लिए और बाकी लोग जो हमसे जुड़े हुए हैं. एनीवन देयर टू लिसन टू अस, आई थिंक दिस टॉपिक इज ऑफ इंटरेस्ट टू ऑल ऑफ. This is nothing new. We all have been facing, have been listening, all have been viewing the threats that we are all facing in the society today. You all know that we are all interconnected. We are living in a global village. And this applies particularly the university that we study in, that we are connected with. This is a mega university spread over all across the country, not only the country, overseas also. You all know that we have our presence besides India in 15 other countries. You all know that we work in a multi-tier system. We at the headquarters, at the regional centers, at the learner studies centers. We are a huge system. How do we connect ourselves? This system cannot work without being connected. अगर हम नेटवर्क नहीं होंगे, अगर हम एक दूसरे से जुड़े हुए नहीं होंगे और जुड़े हुए भी ऐसे हों कि हम इंस्टेंटली एक दूसरे से बात कर सकें, इंस्टेंटली एक दूसरे के साथ कनेक्ट कर सकें, अगर ये सब नहीं होगा तो हमारा सिस्टम प्रॉब्लम में आ जाएगा. We all know that we need to be connected. We need to be instantly talking to each other. We need to be instantly answering, interacting. How is it possible? It's not possible if we are not interconnected with the different media that there are today. In fact, this information communication technology has really enabled us to work the way we want to. We want to reach our last learner. We want to reach our learners across cities, across towns, in the largest domain wherever possible, down to the village, to any corner of the country, overseas and anywhere, in the jails, in the hospitals. For defense personnel, you all know that they are located at faraway locations which are really inaccessible. So it is here that this internet, the web, the network that is there really helps us. We can't do away with all this. But at the same time, we all see that there are problems, there are security problems, there are threats, and we all see it is happening with individuals, why not with institutions? When you talk of individuals, I am an individual connected here and there. I face problems as far as information communication technology is concerned, as far as computers are concerned, as far as storage devices are concerned, as far as communication technology is concerned. When you talk of a system, when you talk of a institution, you talk of a mega university like Indira Gandhi National University, the problems are much more complex. But we have been overcoming, we have really found out ways and means for that, overcome these problems, and the credit goes to our computer division, and they have been seeing that are all safe and secure when we do transactions. Starting from the admissions, you all know how easy it is. You can do it online, sitting anywhere, anytime can get admission to. You are paying, you are doing financial transactions while you are paying, while you are getting admissions. We also here, we do all transactions electronically. Our university, we have a system which the human resource system is there, wherein we are all connected, the ODL soft as we call it. Similarly, while we interact with you all, we do it through different media. Social media, we have the Gyan Darshan, the Gyan Vani, we have N channels, and we are doing it successfully. We are doing it in an online mode. You all know that we are providing online education. That's why more than 150 MOOCs. We have more than 30 programs online. So it will all fail if we do not take care of all these issues that concern security. So what we are going to discuss today is that what are these threats that we are talking of? How these threats come to us, and what are these different types of threats that are there? How we can overcome these threats? What to take care of? Avoid? What precautions we have to take? We are going to discuss all these from the point of view of you, our dear students, our staff, our faculty members, the parents of our students also, and anyone connected with our university. So I think I'll request my colleagues here. I'll start with Director Computer Division, Dr. Murali Rao, to say a few words about this particular topic that we have chosen, the relevance of this topic, what is the scope of this topic, Dr. Murali?
Yeah, thank you very much. See, the main context behind this is that so how as ICT, information communication technology, extensive use is going on, correct? In all walks of life, whether it's a private or personal or even at the same time, the hackers and attackers also playing a vital role to do so many adverse things like defacing the websites or identity theft or maybe blackmailing or fake mail, so on and so forth. I think viewers, you are all aware of various cyber threats and cyber disturbance. So the main context of this talk is that see that due to the increasing usage of ICTs, one way the positive side is that ICT is increasing and for various applications and so on. So, but at the same time, the hackers and attackers also playing a vital role. That's why the main theme is that the increasing threat landscape. Earlier, you know that earlier very limited threat vectors are there, so that's very easy to identify and handle and prevent it. But because of extensive use of IT due to emerging technologies, the threat landscape is also increasing a lot. So this main talk is that well, what are the things why threat landscape is increasing? What are various emerging threats and how to protect it? And what are different preventive measures to be taken and followed by a concluding message after end of this panel discussion. So let one by one we will do that. So maybe you can ask a specific so that it go. Otherwise, it is going to different directions. Let's focus on why the threat landscape is increasing. What are the parameters leads to that? And like that, see till concluding this session
Fine.
with some message.
Yeah, so we can continue with Professor Suresh, shed light on this aspect.
Yeah, so once again, greetings to everybody. The eve of Cyber Jagruta Divas. One very important thing is that we cannot find anybody in this world who is not connected. Once you are connected, yes, there is likely threat due to your connectivity, and the threat that arises is called cyber threat. Nowadays, you know that even if you don't have a mobile network, people use WhatsApp through Wi-Fi, and people are connected through WhatsApp. Millions of people are connected through Facebook. People communicate with each other through emails. People are on their own intranets within their organizations. People upload their photos to the Google Photos, Picasa, and other things. You store your contacts information in OneDrive. People you upload all your files to your Google Drive or similar portals. So frankly speaking, at an individual level, when you stand only you are to yourself, all the remaining things related to you are in the cloud. So now the problem is that definitely you are storing somewhere and definitely somebody is having access to it. And our always thought is that I have a password, only I can have access to it. But then it is lying somewhere. Definitely there is ownership to that. If the owner wants, definitely he can have a look. Yes, there are technologies which mention that even owner can't have a look. Fine. Those technologies are normally not available in case you are using free services. So that is one thing from user perspective. Then there are people holding very, very sensitive jobs. Their job is to ensure the confidentiality of the data of the organization by which they are employed. So entire company's data, they are in charge. Nothing should leak. They are in charge of the network infrastructure, connectivity, everything. So they are more tense because it's not that their personal information, but no other person's information or organization's information should get leaked. I would like to give an example of the vulnerability. As you know, the software development is happening across the world and it is always on the. There are some things which are beyond our imagination, which we don't even think. A similar incident I would like to share with you, which I never thought would have happened. And that made me think that many things are under development which we can't even imagine. And these are part of the cyber threats. All of you are well aware of the DP on WhatsApp. The photo which is visible when you call somebody. So you always want to have a good photo or something which gives a good ambience, a garden or a god or yours, whatever it is. So I have been to some other country. There are some photos of it. So I uploaded one of those photos as my DP. So let me say I have done it at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. 2 minutes, that is 3:02. After 2 minutes, I received a WhatsApp message saying that I am doctor and my hospital is within the vicinity of the place where you stay. And these are my contact numbers. These are the appointment details which you can take. Because they captured the DP. From the DP, they fetched the locality information. And around whoever are there, the data has been already shared with them, or already they hired somebody who will be marketing on their behalf, that have received some messages which are in the vicinity of the location of the photo which I have taken a year back. Now, the most important thing which you have to notice that I uploaded a photo as my DP. In no time it has been processed, and in no time I started receiving the messages. So your DPs are also being monitored by automated software because it's not from one of your contacts. They are marketing softwares which are fetching your DPs as you change instantly, and they are trying to reach you in no time. So this is the development that is happening in the cyber world, which creates a big threat to you. You might have thought that I uploaded my DP and let me remove it immediately. No, by that time, I don't know how many people must have already downloaded it by using the automated software, not that they will download it by sitting before a computer. This is the level of threat. Now, to what extent you can save yourself? Yes, there are some preventive measures which you can take, but then none of the measures will assure that you are safe. But the only thing is that, yes, the risk will be reduced, it will be minimized to some extent, but still you are under risk. So on the eve of Cyber Jagruta Divas today, we all will discuss different threats and how you can minimize those threats. And our focus will be that when you are using common internet tools such as email, such as browsing, using WhatsApp, using Facebook, using drives, using Google Photos. So these are the common things which everybody does. So what are the threats that arise from them and how to minimize those threats? Because time is less, we will discuss important things, and this discussion will be now a continuous thing, and in the future coming up sessions, we will be handling more and more complicated things. So over to Dr. Professor Jaydeep.
Thank you, Professor Suresh. So I will request now Dr. Karan Kapoor also to say a few words on the landscape as we have.
Thank you, Professor Jaydeep. A very good afternoon to all the faculty, staff, and students of Indira Gandhi National University, the People's University, as our motto says. It is a People's University. The moment it is People's, the cyber comes up automatically. I'd like to start by wishing you all a very happy Cyber Jagruta Divas. This is an endeavor of Government of India, and it is a great foresight with which it has been evolved. It is a need of the hour. I'd like to start by saying that our security is our concern, but cyber security is everybody's concern. Each one of us, each stakeholder out of us has to be alert to avert any eventuality arising out of the cyberspace. The moment we get up in the morning, we are directly cyber, we go cyber. The moment we check our mobiles, we are connected, we stay connected all through the day. As Professor Suresh also correctly mentioned, the moment any activity of ours takes place that goes cyber without our knowledge, without we coming to know about it. So the only way to avert is to be alert. How we can be alert, we'll be talking in this show, and we can always do a technique which is known as the SWOT analysis of this issue, which is identifying the strengths, what we have, if we have some things which can be compromised, we do have ways and means how we can avert it. We can identify the holes by identifying the weaknesses in our environment, in our physical security, in our cyber security, and by identifying those weaknesses. We can also talk about the opportunities we have, the kind of technology we have to protect and avert this kind of eventuality, and not let the hackers or any miscreants in the society use these opportunities to convert them into possible physical or cyber threats. So this is how we'll be taking this conversation forward, and back to Professor Jaydeep.
Thank you, Dr. Karan. So we'll move on. Just to remind you that this is virtual. We are in the virtual world. Identifying it's not a physical thing, which is little easier. Therefore, identification is also very difficult, and there are different types of threats that there are. So we'll start identifying the type of hackers and attacks that take place. And I'll request Dr. Murali to speak and
Yeah,
talk about.
Yeah, just before to talk, I will add on what the previous panelist said that. See, one basic alert is that once any device connected to net, it means that connected to net and you are using it. It means that you are driving a vehicle on highway. It means that there is a prone to accident. It doesn't mean that every time accident happens when you are driving a car or any auto vehicle. But the seriousness is that once you any device, whether it's a mobile device or maybe a laptop or a palm top, whatever a device connected to net, and using it, it means that every user should think that as an alert that so you are driving a vehicle on a highway. See that how cautiously I drive. That's a and one more also. Suppose see that even though device is connected, but you are not using it, It means that you parked your vehicle on a highway. It means that again, maybe you are at a parked on highway at a safe place, but the other person may come and hit. So that kind of a sensitivity is there once a device is connected to net. So every users will take a note of it and use as careful as possible. So one thing. And second is that once, as I told you that why the threat landscape is increasing. As I told you that the ICT usage is exponentially using, and lot of convergence is also happening. For example, say nowadays the IoT, Internet of Things, and mobility. That is a. It means that every smart device going to connect each other, talk each other, and every device has a predefined security policies or guidelines, but some of the security policies or guidelines of one device may be contradict or maybe adverse impact on the other device because the role and functioning is different. So that's why a attack vector or attack space is again coming to hackers where to find some space to do something the other adverse. That's one of the reasons is that IoT and mobility. The other is that huge online financial transaction. Even so, after this COVID-19, then the government of India also encouraged to do as much as possible the financial transactions. So that one positive side is that very easy and immediately the amount can get credited in concerned account. These are all positive things, but there are many limitations, or maybe say that drawbacks also there, are maybe the threats also there. Once our account, suppose say for example we are using internet banking account, it means that so generally banking account can be accessed through username and password. Then after that maybe one more level of second level authentication and some OTP so on. I mean that, but that is okay one way. But other way is that even the OTP as a second level authentication also tomorrow going to hack are going to compromise. That's why again may think for a third level of authentication. So what I'm saying that so especially for financial generally see the hackers or attackers not to concentrate on normal things but mostly concentrate on sensitive things or financial things. That's why financial banking is going on like anything, but see that as much as possible. See for example, make once a person is using internet banking account, put as limited no limits, as minimal limits as possible. Don't high limits, so that even though for example even your account get hacked, but if you put a minimum limit so that the damage may happen level anyway. So next round then I'll tell them what are some preventive measures. So this is one way of financial transactions, why the attack landscape is increasing. Another is that using of more smart devices. So that is also one of the attack vector where hackers are playing a role, take that as a base to do something or the other. The other is that interconnectedness because of convergence, because of technology. One way of the positive is the positiveness is that interconnectedness. But earlier, mostly technology is a device dependent. But nowadays, technology is a independent. It means that any device can connect to anything. Suppose say a mobile can talk to a palm top can talk to a desktop can talk to other, even a smart watch also can able. It means because of the interconnectedness is also increasing the attack threat landscape. And another is also the lot of sourcing also nowadays, because every organization everywhere do something or the other for digitalization for sake of so correctness, maybe no easiness. But the outsourcing is also one way. The positiveness is that okay, things will be outsourced, but at the same time those are also some areas where people use that as some attack vector and do that, because if they outsource done by an agency, they leave some of the account just like that for the sake of design development and implementation. But unless those are removed, but again that is also going to be one of them. So these are all, and another is that doing of a social media. Now it is a immense use of social media. So that is also to be one of the more vulnerable area where the hackers or attackers playing a role. So these are all some of the areas where the threat landscape is increasing. Then once we had to take care about that. Anyway, next then we'll talk that what are various cyber threats and others also.
Right. So he has very rightly pointed out that we should be cautious while using. There are facilities. This is really a benefit. Interoperability. You can talk across devices. You can use different types of devices, and you are these facilities are there, and faster information processing, and all these are facilities, but then you can't do away with it. You can't remain away from that. You have to use them, but use them with caution. And one facility, very rightly, in a very simple way, he has made you understand that you are parking your vehicle and you're parking it on the road. That is the same as if you are coming out of that and you have not locked down. So that is all very important. I'll request now Professor Suresh also to say.
Yeah, thank you, Dedeep. Just now, Dr. really mentioned very important. The case of financial transactions, always set low limits. I hope you understood what he means. All of you do net banking, or most of you do net banking. So in the net banking, you have the provision of setting the limit that in the entire day, how much financial transaction you can do, or per account, how much maximum you can do. Online shopping, how much you can do. NEFT transfer, maximum how much you can do. RTGS, how much you can do. And directly Wi-Fi based transaction, when you are using your debit card or credit card, that you don't need to insert the card inside the machine, just tap it on the machine and it will transfer the money just with one tap. So that amount can also be fixed. For example, let me say that I have put a limit of 50,000. So if I tap the card, until 50,000 amount can be transferred with just one touch. So if you are holding your card and somebody else is doing a transaction and by mistake your card had hit the machine, the amount is transferred from your card. So you have to be very, very careful. Always put those limits that are not going to make you bankrupt. If there is, if you think there may be a balance of 2 lakh rupees in your account, don't cross more than 10 to 20,000. But at the same time, suppose you have to do a transaction more than 20,000, you can instantly change the limit. If I have to buy something, let me say a tab, which is costing 80,000. Okay, let me go to the shop, or let me, whenever I am going to do the transaction, let me raise the limit to 80,000, complete the transaction, and again reset it to 2,000 or 3,000. So like that, you can minimize the risk. And another thing is, your mobile device has become a big security threat for you. OTPs come to your mobile. And if you are not having a passcode, and if you lost your phone, all OTPs start reaching that person. And many people store data inside their mobile, in their reminders, in their note sheets. So entire data is really exposed in case you lose. So whatever it is, don't lose your mobile phone. At least have a passcode. Now let me come to one common thing which all of us do. All of us have some passwords. Okay. For everything we have a password. So now few things which I want to share with you is that never have the same password for all the accounts. First thing is, nowadays you have the facility that when you are creating a password, it will be telling you whether it is fair, weak, very good, strong. Always go for a strong password. Until it says it is strong, keep on changing. Let it be that which cannot be found in a dictionary, because automated software will try each word of the dictionary in no time. Maybe within few seconds, they will try all the passwords, and in case it matches, they got logged into your account. So first principle is that don't have a password which can be found in a dictionary. That is first thing. Second thing is don't have nicknames. Don't have your car number, bike number, driving license number, Aadhaar card number, passport number, voter ID number. I do not know if any other numbers are there, but don't have those numbers. Because if you lose your wallet, if it falls into the wrong hands, that may be useful for them to hack your accounts. So your password should be unique. And one important thing is that it should be strong. And most important thing is that it should not be used again for another account. Now there are some offers online because now remembering passwords has become a big challenge. If I have 15 accounts, I have 15 passwords. How to remember them? So online there is a facility wherein you can store your passwords and you can have a password for them. So that use your password, have a look at the password, you can enter. Never use such facilities. Once you are storing your passwords online, you are at a major risk. So I don't know how you will remember the passwords, but that is your problem. Myself, I write on a paper and I am sure that I place it in my pocket every day. And if I give it for laundry or something, it gets wetted up and it will not be visible. And my shirt is inside my home or I am wearing it. So I am safe. So have different passwords, have complicated passwords, have passwords that you can't remember, have strong passwords and store them in a secure place. This is the first step to the security. Now, second thing is keep changing your passwords at frequent intervals. What I want to say that despite all these things, I am not sure that these passwords are not known. Even if they are known, maybe the people are not using them because they don't have anything which they want to take from my account. Okay. Now, suppose I go to a shop. I am being monitored through CCTVs. These CCTVs are sometimes very powerful that they'll capture your your typing patterns and other things. So from your pattern, they can capture the password. Then the systems where you use your password, the systems may have preloaded software that will capture all the things which you are typing. So even when you are typing a password through your keyboard, they are capturing it. So that software will store all these patterns and will rerun them so that they can get the password from the patterns you used. So not that you use all the things which I said, but beyond that, you should also change your password at frequent intervals. Sometimes you will receive an alert if you are using a Gmail that somebody accessed your account from so and so place. If not you, it's okay. If it is you, if it is you, it's okay. If not you, change the password immediately and inform us. So when you look at the location, you will find that that location, no, you did not visit. But then it says that your account was accessed. And then you find everything normal. But then you please change your password. Though everything is seeming to be normal, but still you change your password for your safety sake. And always run the security risk analysis that is offered by the Google for Gmail users. Once in a while, it will be sending you an email saying that kindly analyze the security threats you face and you run everything and it will tell you various permissions, accesses which you have given. You like to review them for the sake of your security. It is common with most of the portals and keep using them and change things frequently. I'll move to the next topic when we are going for the next round. Over to JJ.
Thank you, Professor Suresh. So this has been a discussion on passwords and very rightly mentioned. It's not easy. Saying is easy, I think. That have so many passwords which are different, keep changing. The other day I was watching a serial on television and that was especially, I think, on the occasion of cyber security Divas, that the person the same password for different accounts and it was hacked and everything was hacked. And then he mentioned, how can I have so many passwords? How can I? And he very rightly mentioned, don't save your password on an electronic device, save it on a piece of paper, may have a diary or something which is not accessible to anyone else. And the moment you lose it, then you change your password. In case you forget your password, you can say forgot password and they send you a link and then change the password. So there are ways and means, but then at the cost of using something or getting hacked, don't have a simple password. Have a password that is obvious. This is something really remember. Now I think I'll request Dr. also to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will take how the data is compromised. But before that, I'd like to throw some light. Uh, as- that was drawing a cyber landscape, threat landscape. Drawing the cyber threat landscape, let's draw a cyber landscape, like how cyber is involved with every aspect of our life, right from the time once we get up. We have a tendency on going smart world, converting everything in our life not to mere commands by keyboards. We want everything to come on voice, and we use various products like products and the Alexa products. And though these once these products are installed, they definitely have an input which is listening. They are listening, and they try and come to our expectations and what is going on in our minds. They try to capture that, make our lives more comfortable and accessible. So here, I'll also like to throw some light on how, in a given setup of our offices, at our homes, how these smart things play around. To name a few, our TVs are smart. The channels we want to watch, the serials we want, they're all being, our likes and dislikes are being kept record of, and they usually try and identify and display what is going on in accordance with our moods, what we are talking about, and uh, try and play a preset to it. Uh, Smartness has gone to projectors we use, going and putting on the curtains, a use of washing machine, microwave, the locks at our places, uh, accessibility in those terms of music system, lights, the shades we want in our environment, geysers, right from everything. Everything has gone online, and in a tendency of making things smarter, we definitely give way to the threats which are available in the environment where we serve and where we live. Uh, if we talk about the cyber landscape, right from the time we get up in the morning, we have earlier we used to have physical newspapers. Most of us have shifted online papers, reading papers through apps, taking the news updates on watches, smart watches, or on our respective personal devices like mobiles, tabs, and personal computers. Post that, very many of us also like to access the astro tips of the day. Post that, we have placed the cameras at our workplaces, at our homes, wherein the complete movement check we do. Most of us who are very alert and whatever definitely check the cameras once a day or once a moment whenever they feel any update is there. We store all our notes rather in a drive to get paper friendly and not using much stationery. Prevent that, we have all moved to having notes on our phones, on our personal electronic devices. That is there. In our free times, we access the games. Most of the games, most of the times, have some financial aspect connected to it, which basically makes us an addict and later take it to the financial level. compromising our financial bank accounts on a mobile and personal devices. Whether we are searching jobs, job searching apps on our mobiles, our personal devices, following sports, any event going all across, searching for properties wherein searching for a better accommodation, a rented accommodation, buying a house, flat, plot, anything. We are just exposed and try to do it online. Our vehicles, when the services are due, we generally feed it on the personal devices. When our oil and lubes are to be changed, we take it to that extent. The service providers, the vehicle manufacturers also consult and contact us in the same duration. Ordering food, most of us, majority of us, the same. And if it goes to, if we are traveling and we speak a particular language or convey, that is not a hassle anymore. Just log in on to your device, open some translator, and you can translate from your mother tongue, any language, any given language in the world. In our free times, playing karaoke or listening to music, singing, or anything like that. So all these apps basically tender a great threat wherein our personal info is divulged to the people, the hackers who are trying to affect us, who are trying to reach us, who are trying to compromise with our given security. There are a lot of lifestyle apps which we download and try to exercise the same. Like one of these evenings, I was just speaking to my wife, talking about the kitchen renovation. And the moment we spoke, immediately after that, whenever I accessed my Facebook, Instagram, we had all the ideas about how to renovate and go about renovation, which colors to use, and all those things. Though definitely they are beneficial, at the same time, they're a great threat also. The advertising that started to crop up, and finally, to a certain extent, it also became a nuisance. So these are the things where we compromise our lives. We are in touch with the cyber world, whether it is whether it is paying our electricity bills, our gas connections, or anything like that, booking movie tickets, booking air tickets, rail tickets. Everywhere we are just feeding a lot of information. Ladies and gentlemen, the Reserve Bank of India has also come up with a new initiative, which I'll subsequently request Dr. Mundi to throw light on. And at IGNOU, in one of the brainstorming sessions both of us were having about 3 months back, Dr. Mundi mentioned that Major Karan, very soon these OTPs are going to go off because they are also going to be compromised. And I was taken aback, and I was like, how our lives will function without OTPs, without this technology being implemented. And he was very right. So the moment while driving back a week back, I read that initiative by Reserve Bank of India. I got remembered of Dr. Modi and was thinking that how far, how deep thought goes, and we have to be there at a safer place before the hackers and the people who are trying to harm are at the same thought. Apart from that, whether it is our banking systems, as enough light has been thrown by Professor P.V. Suresh on the same, that how our financial transactions get compromised, our investments, travel, calling, messages, everything is, though they claim to be encrypted, but to a certain extent, a lot of it is available to the cyber world. And this is not by anyone specifically trying to do it. It is we ourselves are giving these informations to the world. Like a normal, as I spoke about, that we are all converting into smart people, smart individuals. Whenever we go for a walk, we generally try that we have our watches or our equipments recording our steps. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not only that the steps are being recorded, your map, your geolocation is being tracked, how many steps you have walked, that is being monitored. And you will also notice to an extent that once we cover a certain number of steps, the ads of shoes, that your shoes are getting worn out, they start coming on the various apps which are there. So till that level, we hardly in our routine lives, in our busy schedules, forget that what we are divulging the universe, but all these things are going out and are being used by the various forums in different manners. But definitely they change our perception about how we think and how we are made to think. Even our thought after a particular point of time is not ours. It gets compromised by the advertisers, by the various companies, and it is all linked, and it forms up a great information which uh, which is given to the company, to the various other aspects of the universe. We ourselves give it out. With this, back to Professor Jaideep.
थैंक यू। तो देखिए, अभी तक जो हम बात कर रहे थे, पासवर्ड बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। हमने बड़ा अच्छी तरह समझा कि पासवर्ड कैसा होना चाहिए और पर्सनल नहीं होना चाहिए, और ये बड़ा काफ़ी डिटेल में डिस्कस किया। दूसरी बात यह है कि कुछ चीज़ें तो पर्सनली हम डाइवल्ज करते हैं, कुछ हम फोर्स्ड हो जाते हैं डाइवल्ज करने। कुछ चीज़ें तो हमें बतानी पड़ती हैं कभी कभी, और कुछ चीज़ें हम बताते भी हैं। ये भी एक बड़ी टेंडेंसी हो गई है सोसाइटी में कि हम पर्सनल चीज़ें डाइवल्ज करते हैं। तो कोशिश करनी चाहिए कम डाइवल्ज करें, कम बताएं अपने बारे में जहां ज़रूरत नहीं है। क्योंकि देखिए, जैसे ही आप कोई ऐप खोलते हैं तो कुछ चीज़ें तो वो आपसे जानना चाहता है, कैमरा ऑन कर लीजिए, कर देता है, आपका सिस्टम उसको एक्सेसिबल हो जाता है, पता चल जाती है। कुछ चीज़ें हम वैसे भी बताने की कोशिश करते हैं जिससे लोग पता चल जाती है। ये चीज़ें हमें नुकसान देती हैं, खासकर एज स्टूडेंट्स आप इस चीज़ का बड़ा ध्यान रखें, क्योंकि वरना ये हमें बड़ी मुश्किल में डाल देती हैं चीज़ें। दूसरी बात यह है कि टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करना भी चाहते हैं, लेकिन सेफली भी यूज करना चाहते हैं। जैसे अपनी लोकेशन के बारे में है, अब लोकेशन इतना ज्यादा हम टेक्नोलॉजी डिपेंडेंट हो गए हैं कि हमें 4 कदम चलने के लिए रास्ता हमें नहीं पता, हमें जीपीएस चलाना पड़ता है, हमें जानना पड़ता है। आजकल पूछने का तो जमाना नहीं है, आप किसी से पूछ तो सकते ही नहीं है, और आप जीपीएस आपको बड़ा इजी लगता है। लेकिन शायद कभी कभी हम चीजों कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर देते हैं, हम अपनी कैपेबिलिटीज को कम कर रहे हैं इन चीजों के लिए। तो थोड़ा इन चीजों पे भी हमें ध्यान देना चाहिए। अब हम थोड़ा सा इस बारे में भी बात कर लेते हैं कि प्रिवेंटिव मेजर्स में हमने कुछ एस्पेक्ट तो बात कर ली है। मेरे ख्याल से शायद ये भी है कि हमें ये भी आइडेंटिफाई करना आना चाहिए कि जो वेबसाइट हम विजिट करने जा रहे हैं ये ऑथेंटिक है या नहीं है, क्या इस वेबसाइट से हमें लेना चाहिए, क्योंकि ऑल्टरनेटिव्स तो हमेशा अवेलेबल होते हैं। कौन सी वेबसाइट यूज करें, कौन से पोर्टल को यूज करना चाहिए, गवर्नमेंट साइट्स को ज्यादा कंफर्टेबल है वहां यूज करना चाहिए, वो ज्यादा सिक्योर है। गवर्नमेंट के बड़े इनिशिएटिव्स हैं इन चीजों में एजुकेट करने में भी, और हमें इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोवाइड। तो मैं सब प्रतिभागियों से कहूँगा, सारे मेरे जो साथी लोग हैं यहाँ की, इस बारे में भी बताएं, थोड़ा सा टाइम बचा है। वन बाय वन प्लीज।
Yeah, one thing needs to do that. I want to emphasize that. Okay, we all know that what are some common attacks. So we all know that, aware of. But due to this increased threat landscape, the emerging threats also coming up in future. Maybe already is there. One, I will tell you that one is hardware authentication, hardware Trojan. So far, it is a technical word. So far, Trojan means that it is software based, some kind of malicious program. It is automatically through internet. It will be through email or something. It will be injected into that as soon as and stored in our laptop or desktop. Whenever you reboot that, so that malicious program will flare up, and whatever, either it is a program developed for a data stealing or exploitation. That is everybody knows that. But now the emerging serious threat is that so hardware gone, software gone. So there are so many some protective measures are there for it, hardware software trojans, but hardware trojans are coming. It means that at the time of manufacturing a device, any electronic device, maybe a mobile phone, maybe a TV, or maybe whatever electronic device, you say that at the time of manufacturing, knowingly by the manufacturer, or because nowadays no single agency is designing, developing, and manufacturing internet. It means that it is some kind of a fabrication at some place, integration will be some place, installation will be some place, and usage is some other place, like that. But hardware Trojan means that in the chip itself, designing some embedded chip inside that. So after certain period, the device should start malfunctioning. Say for example, TV. If you bought a high-end TV of a 75 inches or 80 inches of a Sony or any other brand, for example, of a 3 lakhs or 5 lakhs. So generally the company gives warranty of 3 years. Assume that. So up to 3 years, the hardware Trojan won't thing. Once the warranty is over, then the Trojan, hardware Trojan starts working that malfunctioning of your device. So that no other way we have to call the company or call the call center, get the thing done. It is very, very difficult nowadays to identify that whatever electronic device you bought it, whether it has any hardware Trojan or not. So it is very forthcoming. It is a forthcoming. It is a serious threat as well as a challenge also that this hardware Trojan. That is one thing. And another is that I think ransomware also. Nowadays, because of where our systems are not up to that mark in terms of latest operating systems, or maybe say patching whatever is some patches to be updated, or not using antivirus. In such case, what will happen? Our system is vulnerable. As I told you that once a system is connected, it means that you are driving on a highway. It means that prone to accident. Similarly, prone to hack. So in such case, so people will take your system, take away your system, change the password, and then demand you for pay this much ransom so that I will release the credentials. I think last couple of years across the world, so the almost billions of no amount got lost or maybe paid by the companies or by the users in the name ransomware. This is also another upcoming threat. So this we have to take care about all these things. So but anyway, there are so many threats are there. What I want to say is that there are so many threats are there. We cannot, because it's always like a fight between police and thief. Thief always try to capture, try to intrude, and police try to capture. But when we see that statistics of the past, the success rate of a thief is more than the success rate of a friend. Sorry, Major, if I say that. Okay. But statistics says like that.
Absolutely.
Similarly, it is a fight between system administrator and the hackers. Always, because you know that through software we are trying to protect our system. Again, through same software, the people are using break the software. That's why it's always continuous process. Even though if we say that if you install a firewall or security device, IDS, IPS, and threat management, even if you put that, but it doesn't mean to some extent it will protect your environment, but not everything. That's why a thumb rule of security is that security is a continuous process, not a product based or one time.
Absolutely.
So that it is to be continuously, we had continuously monitor what traffic is going on. Is there any malicious things are there? You will get alerted. So of course there are so many threat intelligence systems also there. But because one more I would like to say that 5G, we are all saying that is a buzzword of 5G, that it is a high fast mobile communication network. Even the latency is less than 1 millisecond. It means that almost zero. It means that gigabits of data we can transfer within a fraction of a second. That is the power of 5G. Even if you are traveling even at 300 kilometers, 400 kilometers per hour, still your link sustained. So, and thousands or millions of devices can be connected. This is a power of 5G. This is a fastness of 5G. Now, hackers are also using these facilities again to hack as fast as possible. So to push the malicious content as fast as possible. So that's why. So it is really a challenging even in the future. Of course, we have to go through it, but it's a challenging that protect our environment in a safe. And I will tell you that. So why I told you that OTP get tomorrow compromise. See, I think we are all know about the net neutrality. It means that, see, some kind of advertisement thing, even you are in a jungle where no nothing is there, but you will get a advertisement as a SMS or something. Correct, no? It means that whatever net is that those people are taking a higher bandwidth than a normal user. So, for example, nowadays, if tomorrow I'm suspecting that your SIM is also going to clone. Suppose I know that you are a big shot in the society, you are doing a lakhs of rupees transaction. So that what I will do that clone your SIM also. What will happen if bank sends a OTP? So I will get that OTP reached first than you, even your agent. So that's why I told that even tomorrow the multi-level authentication like OTP will get compromised. That's why maybe the RBI or any people may think that maybe another biometric exercise. So because it is a continuous process, always, it is a fight between the police and thieves. Similarly, a fight between system administrators and the hackers. But finally, I will give some concluding message after
The
this.
hackers are professionals who are bent upon and who are only tasked to look at a particular aspect of it. And as far as individual security is concerned, we are involved in various other aspects, various other things which we have lined up to do in the day. But the hacker is only looking at a particular slot or at a particular moment where we are weak, and he identifies his strength. So I'll give you some of the measures which we can adopt in our daily lives to make ourselves more secure, our cyber space more secure. Ladies and gentlemen, 5G is at our doorstep. From 1st to 4th of October, we had All India Mobile Congress 2022, where our Honorable Prime Minister, he launched the 5G. Very soon, it is going to be there in 8 major cities, and followed by it in no time, it will spread across the country. We have to be, when we take good aspects of the 5G, like latency, like reaching out to remote areas. One of the demos I was seeing in the 5G launch was also that a moving ambulance has an online connect to the doctor, and he's seeing the patient physically through a camera and suggest the paramedics that what is the treatment which needs to be given to the patient. So the patient need not necessarily reach the hospital once he's there in the ambulance, which is 5G enabled. He is absolutely in safe hands, and he is getting the treatment was what the expert doctor available at that moment him wants to give him, right from the very first crucial golden hour. As far as the data is concerned, the cyberspace protection is concerned, apart from the smart devices and the smart security, we also need to have adequate physical security to our devices. As far as your personal devices are concerned, never leave them open without locking them temporarily or keeping them at the respective places. Whenever you are moving out of your offices or domains, your home, don't forget to lock up those devices and maintain air gap. All the devices nowadays are either connected by NFC or the Bluetooth or the Wi-Fi. So necessarily, it is not important that the hacker will be sitting at a distant area. He may be in a very close proximity to you. If the air gap is maintained between the devices, if one equipment of yours, suppose your mobile is very strongly secured, but your tab is compromised. So, and the hacker uses that path to hack your mobile. So, that cannot be prevented. As far as especially in organizations where secret data is being maintained, we should also have different systems for our intranet and our internet, wherein the system where our intranet is working and we are using the same, we should not use the same system for our internet, which provides an access to the world, which gives an access of our device to the world. So that should also be maintained. That can also be maintained by maintaining adequate air gap, which is there. The peculiarities of our system, we should not compromise on giving an access to our location to all the apps, or we should not give default permissions to our devices. We should do it on the basis of, on case-to-case basis, where we need to divulge our information and which app we do not want to give our information. Some apps, generally, which are not very standard apps, very localized apps, also get installed on your system, wherein after giving your location, after giving your the permission to read the messages, whereas in reality they don't require that kind of information to be given. So don't get compromised to that level, wherein you are so dependent on an app that it compromises on your mental agility. We should also practice and go back to our golden past, the golden past of our country, wherein calculation, arithmetics, we should start practicing them and reduce the use of and our dependency on the devices, wherein just for a mere calculation of something, we immediately open our devices and use the calculators and those things. To a limit, yes, they are fine, but we should also exercise our brains in day-to-day lives. Social networking sites, they take not only our time, but also a lot of our financial aspects and all. So we should be very judicious in using them, and we should restrict the time, the screen time we spend on our social networking sites. And we should also keep on observing similar kind of cloned apps. If we observe them while installing it, we can always divert a major opportunity where the hacker can approach us. Also, while downloading the various apps, we should only do it through very authorized sources like Google Play Store or the indigenously developed store of your device. We should not do it from the sources which are not very known to us and we are not very confident on. While opening and accessing the various websites, we should also restrict to and be observant that there is not an extra word or the HTTP is not compromised on. I'll also request Dr. Mulli to throw some more specific light on the same. So these are some steps which if we take, will be very useful in diverting cyber attacks and compromising our cyber world. So, what to say? Something about HTTP.
Yeah, see, one thing is that, when I talk about HTTP and HTTPS, I will tell you that, breakable and unbreakable, let in some common language. So, everything is breakable, everything is unbreakable. So, I'm telling you that in a practical sense, I'm talking about practical sense as a practitioner. See, even a parallel biscuit, if children who eats parallel biscuit is also unbreakable up to certain threshold values. Correct? Suppose even a big mountain is also unbreakable. So like that, even if you talk about security, even if you buy an iPhone of latest one or any other hi-fi and quality devices, so thing is that no, if the threshold value is beyond, say for example, take nowadays cars are there of 4 crores, 5, even 10 crores cars also there of so much of security protection like this that so and so. But if we are hitting some object of by in the speed of 200 kilometers, 300 kilometers, so whatever security is there, then it won't work. That's why what I want to say is that security. That's why everything is breakable and everything is unbreakable depending on threshold values. So that we have to keep it in mind. So suppose I have a car of 10 crores with all security features, I can go that I can hit anything with that. If yours is if other thing threshold value is more than yours, you will. Similarly, even by a firewall of a 1 crores or 3 crores worth of firewall secure, but hacker is using okay, more on that more that device so that will, so that's why simply say that it is everything is breakable, everything is unbreakable. And another part said that is different is yes. Actually, whenever transmit some data, transfer data from source to destination, whether it's email or WhatsApp or other ways of electronic actually, HTTPS is S means we have to see that site has preceded by site name as preceded by HTTPS. It means that the site is secure. Means that there is another security layer injected between transportation and network layer. So that's why it gives us some more additional security. It doesn't mean that even though see HTTPS is there that the site is 100% secure. It doesn't. But so better secure than a site which doesn't have a security layer. That is what I want to say. That's why I always keep that the breakable and so unbreakable. So maybe later can we also maybe the professor also would like some Sureshji would like
some common things from user perspective. Earlier I spoke about password security and added something limits to your financial banking. And nowadays, one thing which we are commonly facing is that impostering through. So we receive messages from a known person requesting us buy some gift cards, transfer money to an account. So that is something where many people got. One important thing which they are doing is that they are copying the DP, they are uploading the DP, and they started messaging. Once you find a DP with which you are very familiar with, obviously you will believe instantly unless you are really cautious or already you had an experience. So one very important thing is that whether it is SMS or a WhatsApp message, if it is something related to financial, please check the underlying number. In many cases, I found that even before, when I'm reaching the venue for the presentation, conversation is going on and the person is buy some Amazon gift cards and share the link. And they're promising that they immediately return the money. And the DP is a very, very respectable. Okay. So whenever somebody requests you something which is having some financial implication, kindly check the underlying number. Another thing is that don't call on the same number, cross check. The next level that is happening is that recording the voices and using the same tone to speak to the person. So my voice is recorded and they speak as if I am speaking. That gives a lot of confidence to the other person that they consulted and they are looking. But basically, if you are not checking the underlying number, even that voice is fake. Hence, whenever you are receiving calls, if they are not from the identified numbers or not in your contacts list, try to avoid them and always give a message saying that please SMS, I am busy. Let you start the conversation with messaging, not with your voice. They call you to take a sample of your voice. And that is going to be the next level because voice commands are working with many electronic devices. For example, if you have a Alexa-like device, you can dictate it. And then there is a product from Apple to which the conversation can be made from a remote place. So I tell something while I am driving the car to the device which is sitting in my home, which will inform to my family members to be ready in 5 minutes. I'm coming to pick you up. So now your voice is also very, very valuable. So don't take every call. Take only those calls from identified numbers or from your contacts. And if not, first of all, just drop a message saying that please SMS. Only when you are sure that the person is yes, it is an authenticated source, then you start conversing. That is how you can protect by yours. One important thing is that always use subscribed services. The reason is that, for example, if you take YouTube like portals or services, if you are not subscribing, they will show you n number of advertisements. These advertisements also sometimes pick up your data. So pay amount and use the service to be secure to the extent possible. When you are browsing internet, try to make it as private as possible. The most important thing is that when you are browsing, use the incognito tab. You have an option called incognito. Select it, the browser window will get opened, and once you start browsing in that window, you cannot open additional tabs and it cannot be tracked. So when I say it cannot be tracked, don't take it as a very much sacred statement. That statement is valid until we find that it can also be. So, but then chances are less as on date, your risk is less. So always incognito means is good for you. Browse, maintain privacy. Then be careful with WhatsApp DPs. Okay, you may have your own reservations. Wherever you think should not be misused, don't upload it as a WhatsApp DP even for a moment. Then you find many people are stacking you through WhatsApp and Facebook. If your contact number is there, I add to my contacts, your number gets listed in my WhatsApp, I can watch your DP. Sometimes you'll find that if you have many friends on Facebook, there may be some people you never accepted as your friend, but still appear in the list of your friends. How they became your friends, you don't. But then they are on your list. So they are stacking you. Whatever you are posting, they are watching everything. You don't know that who are watching or not watching. People who are clicking on like or making comment are maybe very few when compared to the number of friends you have. So many people are stacking you. So when you are posting to even the social networks, you need to be very, very cautious. So these are some of the things from user perspective that I would like to share. And over Jaydeep, I think maybe another 5 minutes because other engagement.
Yeah.
Please. Couple of things which I'd like to throw more light on is one is sometimes most of us I see is a group of friends wherein while checking at the airports or catching a train, the moment we do that, we just try and put it on Facebook and our sites, social sites, that traveling to this place or traveling to this destination. We do it to share it with our friends and family. But this information is usually taken off by the people trying to harm us, who are trying to attack in cyber. Apart from that, we also have a tendency of sharing status on WhatsApp and other messenger apps, wherein we put what we are doing currently. So we are already doing the homework for the hacker by sharing this kind of information with them. We should be very conscious of whatever we are putting up status or such kind of updates we share. Other very popular mistake we do is like enabling cloud services, wherein we share everything we are storing on our personal devices just for a matter of our convenience. We share everything on cloud, right from our photographs photographs, to our data, to presentations, and everything goes online and is visible to everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Karan. I
yeah,
think
absolutely.
I'm sorry to
Yes.
disturb you. And Dr. Murli, it will take 2 minutes before we
sure.
wind up.
Sure. Yeah. So what I would like to say, conclude is that actually the today as the cyber pass. Of course, this kind of talks may continue at least once in a month at least on elementary stage to up to high level talks. Maybe to a common user, maybe a developers, maybe administrators, like that. We can do that. But what I would like to say is that as a common man, me now, not as a speaker now, as a common man, I don't know anything. Just with a passion, I have some smart card to go and get some ATM, get the money. I have an email or I have WhatsApp. I can do what. But one should have some kind of a control. Then only it can be, because always there's a proper prevention is a better than, even though the governments or anybody so encourages to do this to do this, once something goes wrong, again the user is only they get affected, not anybody else. So see, if you are using a credit card or debit card, once some your card is compromised, the amount loss is only you have to go and report that, and the agencies will investigate. That is how long it will take, whether you will get back another second. That's why always what I say, always prevention is the better than cure. And what viewers have to say is that okay, there are common security devices are there, but still there are emerging technologies out there. But some other platform we'll talk is not a platform to emerging security technologies like blockchain, deception technologies, hardware. In some other session, exclusively we take it up the technical this session. But what I would like to conclude is that one keep in mind is that security is a protecting, providing security is a continuous process, not one-time process. It is not a device based; it is a process based. Keep it in mind. One. Second is that try to use the smart devices as less as possible. Unless there is a need, then only use that. Don't for a passion and do all this. See, once you adopt, once you are adapted to the use of smart device, what will happen? Your smartness, the device is taking away from you. Tomorrow you are going to be dumb. So that's why we have to keep it in mind that even though it is very taste, even though it is attractive, even though it is that, but see that how much you can use smart devices, use that level only, not too much. Number one. And third one, and see, even though there are so many, are there, technologies are there, so many things are there. But as I told you, they always fight between police and thief. End of the day, or maybe use the latest one, though are the winner. Whether the police is using that, he is the winner. Otherwise, the thief is that using that, he is the winner. So that is always fight between. We cannot quantify that. We qualify that how we are, how alert we are. And finally, viewers, I want to say that controlled, conscious, and cautious digital access and usage leads our life. This I want to give it, even though I'm a technology practitioner, but always we have to keep that okay, the controlled, conscious, and cautious access and use of digital devices or digital services leads our life.
देखिए कितना मुश्किल है, टेक्नोलॉजी हमें सब कुछ प्रोवाइड भी कर रही है और टेक्नोलॉजी कितनी तेजी से एडवांस भी कर रही है, लेकिन फिर भी हमें कॉशियस रहना पड़ेगा. तो ये हर इंडिविजुअल को डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा क्या टेक्नोलॉजी की उसको आवश्यकता है, क्या टेक्नोलॉजी कब की किस समय उसको आवश्यकता है. ये नहीं कि आप हमेशा ही बेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी के लिए जाएं. देखिए कभी कभी मैं खासकर अपने यंग स्टूडेंट्स को बताना चाहूंगा कि टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी ल्यूरिंग होती है, टेक्नोलॉजी में हम इतना उसकी तरफ आकर्षित हो जाते हैं कि हम बाकी सब चीजों को नजरअंदाज करते हुए उस तक पहुंचने की कोशिश करते हैं. तो ध्यान रखिए आपको कब किस टेक्नोलॉजी की आवश्यकता है, वो आपके पास है भी तो भी क्या उस समय आपको उसका प्रयोग करना है या नहीं करना है, ये बहुत ध्यान रखने वाली बात है. हताश मत होइए, इतना डिफिकल्ट भी नहीं है, लेकिन कॉशियस रहिए, प्रिकॉशन लीजिए. गवर्नमेंट भी एफर्ट्स कर रही है। मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा cybercrime.gov.in ये साइट पोर्टल है जिसपे आप कभी भी कुछ अंधकार में है तो आप जाके उसके बारे में देखेंगे, आपको काफी इंफॉर्मेशन मिलेगी। एक फोन नंबर है 1930, कभी भी अगर आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है तो आप इस पे कॉल करके बता सकते हैं। इंडियन साइबर क्राइम कोऑर्डिनेशन सेंटर है, इसी तरह साइबर दोस्त है। गवर्नमेंट के बहुत एफर्ट्स हैं हमें बचाने के लिए, कितने भी एफर्ट करें, लेकिन जैसे कि अभी डिस्कशंस में पता चला हमें कि टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी फास्ट डेवलप कर रही है, आप लोग काम कर रहे हैं, उसको सीखने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जो हैकर्स हैं, जो थ्रेट्स हैं उस टेक्नोलॉजी में, सिर्फ उसी पे काम कर रहे हैं कि वो कैसे करेंगे। उनका रिसर्च ही उसी पे है कि कैसे हमने हैक करना है, कैसे लोगों को थ्रेट्स प्रोवाइड करनी है, और हम ये सब भी कर रहे हैं। इसलिए हमें बच के चलना है, बहुत ध्यान से चलना है। टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज करें, नेटवर्क रहें, लेकिन जब जरूरत है तभी रहें। ऐसा ना हो कि हमें 1+2=3 होता है ये करना ना आए, हमें इसके लिए कैलकुलेटर की जरूरत पड़े, हमें रास्ता ना पता चले अपने घर से 1 किलोमीटर के लिए हमें जीपीएस की जरूरत पड़े। कभी कभार ऐसा होता है टेक्नोलॉजी फेल हो जाती है तो आप रास्ता नहीं ढूंढ पाएंगे, आप 2+2=4 नहीं कर पाएंगे। ध्यान रखिए कि हम अपनी तरफ से हमेशा प्रयास रखेंगे। हम आपको महीने में 1 या 2 बार जरूर ऐसा कोई प्रोग्राम फिर करेंगे जो कि हम करते रहे हैं। पिछले साल भी हमने 10-12 प्रोग्राम पिछले साल किए थे, हमारे ज्ञानवाणी पे, ज्ञान दर्शन पे, स्वयं प्रभा भी करेंगे, और आप कभी डिमांड भी कर सकते हैं तो हम तब भी करेंगे। थैंक यू ऑल माय कलीग्स।
थैंक यू।